When the attack happened in Libya and Gaddafi was being taken down, a number of African presidents said, wait, hold. We will fly into Libya and we can have some kind of diplomatic conversations. The feedback from external actors to them was, if you fly into Libyan airspace, we cannot guarantee your security. I want you to think about...
Hello guys, welcome back to Van TV Media guys. If you're new, please just consider subscribing to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that in case we do upload any story, you'll be the first one to view. Guys, thank you for supporting this channel since I start up to now, and we are going to talk about African Union. You see, most of the people here in Africa, some of them have come up to rise and talk about this thing that this organization of African Union here in Africa. It has been seen that African Union is only the organization that is dormant here in Africa. African Union is there, but the function of African Union is not shown up. Most people here in Africa, we don't know what is the function of African Union. Here, people here in Africa, we are not seeing anything that is being done by African Union. Just watch out how this lady has come up and back the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, talking about African Union. Because you remember the other time Ibrahim Traoré said that what made them to start AES Sahel is that they saw African Union is not doing good what they are expecting from it. That's why they decided to start the AES. So just watch out how this lady has talked about African Union, and will be back.
When the attack happened in Libya and Gaddafi was being taken down, a number of African presidents said, wait, hold. We will fly into Libya and we can have some kind of diplomatic conversations. The feedback from external actors to them was, if you fly into Libyan airspace, we cannot guarantee your security. I want you to think about that for a minute, that heads of state of the African continent were told this on our continent. And ladies and gentlemen, what is Libya today? What is Libya today? And it happened on our watch. It happened on our watch. Ladies and gentlemen, Rwanda 1994. Dilly-dallying over the word genocide at the United Nations Security Council saw 1 million people dead in how many days? And who solved the problem? We had to solve the problem. His Excellency and a small force came back in and had to build this country from scratch, ladies and gentlemen. And today we still get lectures and hear lectures about human rights, and there's something wrong. I want to talk about South Africa today. In South Africa today, we are hearing narratives being built around white genocide in South Africa. You are security actors, you understand the import of these narratives and why are they being placed in the international scene? Why is this happening? What could it open up? But where does Africa stand? 50, are we 54? 54 nations? A strong continent, resource-rich, fastest-growing continent in the world. Where do we deserve to sit? Your Excellency, let me come to you on this. Multilateral systems and how do we maneuver this very serious reality, please?
You've seen how she has addressed the members of African Union on about African Union, the reluctance of African Union, the dormancy of African Union, because most of the things that have happened here in Africa. We expecting that African Union will come through or to assist, or will come through to solve any problem that has arisen here in Africa, but we've not seen anything concerning African Union coming in to do what is supposed to do on certain problem that is here in Africa. You see, there is a war. We see some of the terror attacks in different countries here in Africa. We see hunger in different parts of Africa. We see some of the other country coming in into Africa, other continent, other people from West coming in into Africa to come and oppress some of the leaders here in Africa. But African Union is quiet. You saw Abraham Traoré. West are struggling to fight him, but we are not seeing any response from African Union. Guys, we've seen some of the countries trying to fight, trying to kick out those neocolonialism, those countries that are coming into Africa to get some of the resources of the country. Then country decide to say no. But we have some of the wars that are in between countries. We see that the country like Ivory Coast. You see the countries like South Sudan. So all that are happening here in Africa. You see some of the countries, those people, those leaders who are in African Union, some of them are a dictator. They don't follow the rules which can govern the people in the nation. Most of them are dictators. Most of them don't follow rules. Most of them don't want to get out of the leadership. So that is the aim thing that made some of the countries, some of the leaders, these three leaders decided to move from AU and go to AES Sahel. So Ibrahim Traoré and the leader from Niger and Mali quitted African Union because of what you've heard from this lady has said. Muammar Gaddafi was assassinated in Africa, but there is no any leader who have condemned about the incident. There's no leader who have talked about what happened to Gaddafi. They are waiting to see any other leader to be. They are waiting any other leader to get into the trap that Gaddafi gotten in till he got assassinated. They don't talk about anything that is harmful to any leader here in Africa. They don't talk to those oppressors who are coming to Africa to oppress Africa. You see, Ibrahim Traoré is trying to make the African leader to come together, to unite, so that Africa can be as one, so that Africa can have one spirit, so that we can have a Pan-Africanism here in Africa. But most of the leaders of African Union don't concur with him. They just need to cooperate with those West countries. So leaders from Africa who are in African Union, they are cooperating with the West countries to oppress its people. So that's why we say that we as African people, we are not seeing any valuable of AU. We African youths, we are trying to say that any leader who is in African Union is supposed to do what is supposed to do. When it comes to help country, whenever there is a need, we are supposed to get the help from African Union. We are supposed to come together and make sure that we are no longer being recolonized again by the whites. So the resources that are here in Africa, we are supposed, as African Union, we are supposed to come together and discuss on how the resources can be used, on how the resources can make Africa to be all the projects which are here in Africa We are supposed to be, as an African Union, to come together and make sure that whenever there is a road constructions, we use the African Union idea. Whenever we need a health sector, African Union are supposed to get into table and discuss what is happening in Africa. How is the health organization is doing here in Africa? But nothing is happening here in Africa. So guys, this is what we've seen this lady is talking about. This is what we saw Ibrahim Traoré condemning African Union about. And many other leaders have condemned African Union for not doing whatever it's supposed to do, for not helping the African people, for not making sure that African people stays in the manner which they are supposed to stay in. Instead of those leaders are trying to cooperate with the enemies to oppress Africa. Guys, this is all about African Union, and we hope they will change after getting the accusation from different leaders, from different people about their work. And guys, remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell.